All right, we'll do it. We'll listen. I'm good at following directions. Swagoo, I'll start with you. How does Kyler come across in this statement? Do you like this by his agent?
I don't like it. I understand it. I understand what Kyler is in his career right now and all of the things that his agent pointed out about the success of the team. But ultimately, when you think about Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals, it's going to fall, I believe, in line with the same kind of back and forth we went to with Dak Prescott. And how we continue to have a conversation. How much should you pay him? Is he the long-term answer? How good is Dak Prescott in Kyler Murray's situation? I'm comparing the two. And when you think about it, like, yeah, we've seen phenomenal play from Kyler Murray. We've seen dynamic play from Kyler Murray with his legs. We've seen him lift this team at times. And then at times, y'all, we've seen him be bad. We've seen when things aren't around him, aren't align perfectly, him not have the type of success or show that type of ability to bring his team over the top. And then, too, when you start comparing numbers, and y'all know me, I'm not a crazy statistics guy, but Kyler Murray ain't been blowing things out of the water when you start talking about his numbers by season's ends. Yes, early in seasons, we've had him at MVP conversation. We've talked about how dynamic he was. We know that DeAndre Hopkins was injured, and that made a difference in their production offensively. But Kyler ain't thrown for more than 30 touchdowns, I believe, in his career thus far. Kyler hadn't led his team to a playoff win yet. All of these conversations that we are having about Kyler Murray a year in advance, we likened it to when we talked about not only Dak, but Lamar Jackson. Will he win in the playoffs? He's dynamic, but he can run. He's athletic. He's phenomenal to watch, but. And now you get in year 3 after this abysmal playoff loss, and you start jockeying for position to get a new contract, because that's what this all about, Stephen A. I don't like it from the agent, bro.
Marcus, Swagoo, I think that's a bunch of BS. But I'm not talking about you. Listen to me. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the position that you just articulated because of one reason and one reason only. I agree with everything you highlighted because I'm leaning on you for that football knowledge, right? And I still think it's BS. You know why I think it's BS? Because don't talk to me about anything you just highlighted, accurately highlighted about Kyler Murray without bringing up Cliff Kingsbury. Why you got the damn job? You were at Texas Tech. You had no NFL coaching experience. You leapfrog over white and black candidates to get this position. You replaced the dude that got 1 year on the job and got bounced, okay, in Steve Wilkes. That's Cliff Kingsbury. So you got this job, right? Everything that you said about him, Marcus Spears, everything you said about him, Swagoo, I'm down with it. I'm down with it, no problem. Yeah. But here's the deal. I'm going to give you just numbers. Kyler Murray has completed better than 66% of his passes in his NFL career. He had 70 touchdowns and 34 interceptions, okay? A better than 2-to-1 ratio, TD to interception ratio, okay? And he just took them to the playoffs. What I'm saying is this. If we talking about what he's not, why Cliff Kingsbury did? Because the only reason you got the job was because of Kyler Murray. Remember, he got the job because he had ingratiated himself with these quarterbacks, or he had established himself as this guy that had relationships with some of the young quarterbacks, and as a result, he was that perfect guy to get Kyler Murray over that hump. So what I'm trying to say is you married it to him. Now, if he go, you go. If he go down, you go down. If he don't get a damn raise or he don't get a huge contract, you don't get your contract. That's all I'm saying. I'm not challenging what you're saying in terms of its veracity. What I'm saying is it's incredibly unfair. Kyler Murray is in his 3rd year in the National Football League. He's a miniature-sized quarterback, 5'9", 5'10", listed, okay? Got to look over people to throw the damn football down the field. And he's still putting up better than decent numbers. And we talk about him, and we going to let we going to let Cliff Kingsbury off the hook? Or Steve Kines? Nah.
Were we ever under the impression that Cliff Kingsbury was the guy? Did we ever think that? I've said on this show with you a number of times about the Arizona Cardinals, and we both have said Cliff Kingsbury don't know what the hell he's doing. All right, I understand where you going with that. You saying the coach and the tie-in to the quarterback is a direct correlation, and Kyler Murray can't reach his ceiling with Cliff Kingsbury. 100% agree with you,
I'm not even
S.A.
saying can't. I'm not even saying can't. I'm saying if we're going to hold Kyler Murray accountable, Cliff Kingsbury attached to the hip with him. That's what I'm saying.
I got you. But in this particular argument or disagreement that we're having, Kyler Murray agent sent the letter publicly. Talking about a long-term deal. They are not going to scrutinize Cliff Kingsbury. And like you and I, when we start talking about football, we look at the overall. We look at the things that are transpiring around Kyler Murray, saying why hasn't he played up to the level in which we see at times, but inconsistently. But when we start talking about this isolated situation, that's why I brought up Dak. That's why I brought up Lamar Jackson. We got Lamar, too, going into a contract situation with the Baltimore Ravens. Stephen A., we ain't going to mention Cliff Kingsbury one time.
Well,
we ain't going to talk about that one time.
Wait a minute. You say that, but remember what precipitated the agent coming out. About a week and a half ago, we had a discussion.
From the organization.
And the discussion was stuff that was being leaked about by the organization about Kyler Murray. Suddenly he looking for money, and we hearing character issues. So again, to me, the agent is perfectly within his right to come out in defense of his client when you leaking stuff out about him that you pointing to his character and stuff that justifies you potentially lowballing. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.